Greetings, my friend. We are all interested in the future, for that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives. And remember, my friend, future events such as these will affect you in the future.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
Oh my God!
Just when you thought there couldn't be any more evil that could be invented.
If I wanted a joke, I'd follow you into the John and watch you take a leak.
You see? Your stupid minds. Stupid! Stupid!
While you were still learning how to spell your name, I was being trained to conquer galaxies.
You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my vote.
Look up idiot in the dictionary. You know what you'll find?
Picture me.
Hey, laser lips! Your mama was a snowblower.
Hello and welcome to Shooting the Bull. I'm your host, Justin Bullock.
I'm Ariana Tysinger.
I'm Ross.
And welcome to Shooting the Bull as always. And Ross, you should be feeling pretty good because you actually just got back from a little vacation, and it's been a long time. Actually, I can't remember the last time I had a vacation. So please enlighten me. I mean, you laugh, but it's true. I don't remember the last thing I did on a vacation. I mean, because the last place we went was, it was business.
It was business.
Yes. It was
and
business.
The time before that was business.
It was business. It's always business. I go places, but I never have any fun, Ross.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I never have any damn fun.
I went to South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia twice, and all of those were work-related.
Were work-related business.
So,
nice.
But, yeah, you got in today, right?
Yeah, I got in just a few hours ago.
Yeah, so what was that drive like?
It was about 5 hours total.
And where'd you go?
More when you stop and...
Oh, yeah.
But about 5 hours. Went to Maggie Valley in the mountains of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Maggie Valley.
That's up there in the Smokies.
The Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, those are some big mountains.
Yeah.
Those are some big mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were nice, though. They were beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful and majestic mountains of North Carolina.
They really were.
Did you just get inspired when you were
You know, honestly, you hear people say that all the time, describing mountains as beautiful, amazing. And it's just a mountain, but when you actually go there and see it,
No. I think it's awesome.
They really are.
No. I go apeshit over mountains.
Yeah.
Remember when we were driving up there?
Oh my gosh, you were like 5 years old.
I hadn't seen mountains in a very long time.
Yeah.
And because I've been going to the beach a lot, and I hardly ever make it out to the mountains. And so I'm like going up there, and I was like, look, Ari, it's a mountain.
You were literally bouncing in your seat, and I was like, yep, that's a pile of rocks. It sure is.
She just wasn't as into it as I was, but I was like, look, Ari, it's a mountain.
Yeah, no, I like it. Maggie Valley's cool because it's surrounded almost completely by mountains.
Wow.
To your left and your right.
Yeah.
You're like...
In a valley.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Get out of here.
So what'd you do on your trip?
So the first full day, we started off at Mingo Falls.
Mingo Falls.
Yes, it was a waterfall.
Not mango.
Not mango.
Not mango. Mingo Falls.
Mingo.
Yes.
Not flamingo either.
Flamingo. Like a flamingo.
Flamingo.
Yeah.
That'd be neat seeing a waterfall with flamingos coming over the side of it.
I'd have been into it.
Kind of like a flamingo water slide.
Yeah.
Like they have their own water slide.
Yeah. I mean,
animals
totally
like water slides. Have you seen the video with the ducks going down the slide in the water?
Yes.
no, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I know there's plenty of animals that play.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's pandas on the slide. They play that to the song Panda by Designer.
There's those little like Arctic snow monkeys. They roll snowballs.
You know what pisses me off is that we have to work and stuff, and all day long these little shits they just go around playing, making snowballs, going down waterfalls.
I mean, there's also the threat of getting mauled by a predator.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you could live that life too, but then you would also have the threat of being mauled by a predator.
I mean, I do. I'm friends with Ariana over here.
That's right.
I run the risk of getting mauled every day.
Well, speaking of the little snow monkeys, it's not all great because there's those hot springs.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
The monkeys go in the hot springs, but not every monkey's allowed in that hot spring.
Why not?
That's just the way it is.
Their class system.
Yeah, there really is a class system with these monkeys.
Amongst monkeys?
Yeah.
You don't know about this?
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh, there's like a top leader monkey, and he's the one that gets like the first choice of lady in mating season.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the underdog's like, yo, I think that girl is hot. And they're like, no. And then they have to fight each other.
Yeah.
It gets really crazy.
They're trying to make the most...
So they have a Donald Trump amongst monkeys, too.
Well, they're trying to make the most efficient offspring, and they're not going to do it with someone that's weak.
See, this is why I get so pissed off when people say evolution is not real and we didn't come from the monkey. This is just another reason why we are from the monkey. They act just like us.
Yeah. Worse sometimes.
They have a class system. They have a top 1%. And somewhere there's a monkey Bernie Sanders out there going...
You take a shit and you just stare at someone and people wonder what you're doing and then you throw it at them. Like, it's just...
I mean, that's I have had plenty of times in life where that was the perfect response to a situation, was just to fling my own shit. Hell,
it comes up.
There are times at my regular work day where I'm like, right now, the only thing that can make this day better or this situation better is if I just started flinging my shit all over the place.
I had
I mean, honestly. I work for the federal government. Sometimes you just want to fling shit. They're all flinging their shit.
Oh my god.
It's all a bunch of bullshit.
I had a monkey piss at me one time.
Oh my god.
At a zoo. He got up on the cage and...
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, he tried to piss on us. But
he tried to R. Kelly that shit.
There's few things sadder in this world than seeing a cold monkey not allowed in the hot spring. It's really
now, why
sad.
did you have to go
I just
there?
because
I did not need to think about a cold monkey.
Not allowed.
Not allowed. Like,
it's so sad.
He goes back to his other monkeys and he's like, I just know that if I work hard one day, I'm going to get into that spring.
No, it's a class system. Yeah. It's like the traditional India class system.
So how does a monkey get out of that system? And
You don't.
That sucks.
It's like the classic India class system. Like sometimes you're born into a royalty system or you're born into clergy, and you have to stay in that system unless you marry up or down.
Yeah.
But we started at the bottom. Now we're here.
But man. I wonder.
That's Drake.
But still, there's a reason for that.
Only Canadians can do that.
Yeah. I wonder though if the monkeys that are cold get tougher and then become stronger.
Yes.
They could challenge. I bet you if they weren't so afraid, I bet you they could beat the top guy.
Totally.
Maybe.
The top guy, he doesn't have to fight.
I was going to say, does the top guy even fight his own battles? He probably just has other people fight for him.
Go fight him. I don't like him. You, whoop his ass.
So it's kind of like a mobster situation.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Monkeys are
mobsters. They have a crime syndicate. A monkey crime syndicate.
You know they do.
My next film. I'm doing...
Is that thought just bananas?
Oh my god. Leave the show.
Bye.
You're fired.
Okay, bye.
No, sit
it's been
down.
great.
Where are we going to get... I mean, where else are they going to get jokes like that, honestly?
I don't know. The internet.
So Mingo Falls.
Bingo!
It was I liked it a lot. There was the only bad thing was the steps getting to it.
Oh yeah? How many steps are we talking about?
I want to say about 80 steps.
80 steps.
The problem with the steps was that they were spaced out in an inconvenient way for someone like me who's tall with long legs.
Mm-hmm.
Steps are inconvenient for me just in general.
They're not, these steps though, they were so awkward that if I wanted to step over them or just do 1 foot per step, I'd have to be going a little bit too much out of my way.
Right.
I'd be stretching.
So it's
it
like
would
that
be
weird like limp thing.
Yeah. See, and if I wanted to put 2 on, it was only enough to where 1 foot would be on it and the other foot would be on it, but not quite like I'd want it to be.
Like a kindergartner going up the stairs.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like 1 foot and then the other foot goes back up and then you step up with only one leg at a time.
Yeah. And it was like that.
I hate that.
And it was horrible.
Yeah, that's no way to travel.
And they were really high, so, it was going to be difficult walking that high up anyway, that much of an incline, but it was even worse with inadequate steps.
Yes.
So we got there and it was good. The actual waterfall is pretty narrow, and there's only one, but it looked really good. There's only one waterfall. It wasn't like Mingo Falls.
For Mingo Falls.
I was thinking there should be like a series of them.
No, there was one.
So it should just be called like Mingo Fall.
Mingo Fall. Yeah.
Mingo Fall.
It sounds like an incorrect sentence.
It
Mingo
does.
Fall.
Mingo Fall.
Yeah, I guess they have to call
Why
it
Mingo Fall?
because there's only one.
No, that's someone asking.
Asking why Mingo Fall.
Gosh,
Probably the
Justin,
steps.
No,
get
that's
on
what
my
I'm
level.
That's what I'm saying. I was answering your question.
Get on my 80-step level.
Yeah.
I told you steps are inconvenient.
So it was nice though. It only took about I'd say a minute, if that, from the top of the steps to the fall.
Yeah.
There was a bridge, so you could go and sort of be over where the stream was coming.
That's cool.
And it was nice. I was thinking I'm going to explain this to you and grade all of these places.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's hear this.
So Mingo Falls, I give it a B.
A B. All right. That's good.
It's
good.
It's a pretty good place.
Yeah. You could have some fun there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not it's not A, but
It's not A.
It's B.
It's not A.
Good.
It's short. It's sweet.
That's right.
It's simple.
Did it lose points because of the steps?
The steps kind of I was going down the steps though, but I'll tell you, so many old fat people going up these steps.
Yeah.
They were going up these steps like it was fine. I mean, there was a few that were struggling.
They're the mountain natives.
Yeah.
They're probably used to that. That's why I like the mountains. My people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Bigger people. That's why I thrive in the mountains.
There's a lot of big people in the mountains.
I think without looking or needing facts, I think I can definitively say that the west side of the state is a little heavier than the east side of the state.
It could be.
Which is odd because you think, mountains would be, you might think skinnier people because, they have to go walk around, but there's a lot of weight pushing them mountains down because there's a lot of big people out there on the west side. I mean, I told you, that's my people.
That's an evolutionary thing because towards the equator, people are taller and skinnier because of the climate of that area and your body can adjust to it. Versus whenever you're short and stockier, that's so that your body can keep warm in colder weather.
This is why I go to the beach this time of year and I feel like I'm going to die.
And I go and I feel fine.
Yeah, no.
Well, one of the nice things is it was significantly cooler on the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was about in the 70s pretty much the entire
time. Oh, that's fantastic.
That sounds beautiful.
I don't remember what that feels like.
No, it's been a while.
I have forgotten. I'm like 70s. I know that's supposed to feel good.
It feels like 113 every day.
I know. I'm like 70s. I know that's supposed to feel good, but I don't actually remember what that feels like.
Yeah. So
I hear fall's coming soon. I don't know. Maybe.
I think it's next month that it starts to drop.
Yeah. So Mingo Falls.
B.
So
nice
where
place.
else? So where else did you
Same day went to Cherokee.
I like Cherokee. I do, but the last time I was there, I was like 8 or 9 years old.
I don't like Cherokee.
Oh.
You don't like Cherokee?
I don't like Cherokee.
All right. So what don't you like about Cherokee?
Okay. If you like little wicker baskets, you'll love Cherokee. Because that's all Cherokee is.
Just a bunch of wicker baskets.
Wicker baskets everywhere. And expensive, too.
What are we talking?
$80.
For a wicker basket.
How big is the basket?
Not even a foot.
Oh, my
Not even a foot. It's the kind of wicker basket that some fruit is displayed in.
Some fruit.
Or like when you buy flowers for someone, it comes in a little basket.
Yeah,
so you buy an $80 wicker basket to put fruit in.
I wouldn't buy it.
No,
but it was everywhere.
So you did not get a wicker basket?
I didn't get it, and it was everywhere. Every store had wicker baskets.
Who makes these wicker baskets?
I don't know.
Is it the same person? Is it different people?
It can't be the same person. There were too many.
This is all this guy does.
I hated it, though. I really hated it. I couldn't get away from these wicker baskets.
Everywhere you went.
Is it like you go to a new store and all of a sudden it's just more baskets?
More baskets everywhere. Baskets everywhere. And I don't know why.
I can't imagine
no one's
anyone
buying.
eating.
I didn't see anyone buying the baskets.
Well, clearly they have so many.
Nobody bought the baskets. I certainly wasn't going to buy the baskets. Get rid of the baskets.
That would have been funny, like, if you just could have found, like, maybe one person walking around with all these baskets.
Yeah.
And then, like, you, please tell me.
Why?
What do you plan on doing with these baskets?
So I hated it. These kind of touristy places, they don't really sell anything worth getting anyway.
No.
But this
not at all.
was just horrible.
Yeah.
Just wicker baskets.
Just wicker baskets everywhere.
I've always wanted to buy one of those Indian totem poles.
I didn't see them. I mean,
why not?
Why?
Look at that.
No purpose.
Neither does his, wicker basket.
Wicker baskets, you could do anything.
But it's awesome. Can you imagine, it's a great conversation starter. Someone walks in your house. I like your Indian totem pole. Thank you.
Yeah, no one's going to start a conversation about your baskets.
People are gonna be like, neat. This looks hand woven. Well, it is. It's $80.
See, now that would be a problem. See, right there, that would be a problem. Because if you're going to spend $80 on a wicker basket and you're going to put it out on display and no one is going to say anything about your wicker basket is awesome.
Well, I mean, if you're going to spend $80 on anything, it better be noticed.
It better be.
I hated that there were so many of these, but I honestly think the price is what really pushed me into really.
Maybe it's their way of getting back at us for what we kind of did to them.
Oh my god.
Well, it's not working.
We're now going to guide you.
It's not working.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Cherokee, I'm gonna just have to say, avoid it.
Avoid it. So what would you give it?
Yeah, what grade?
I'd give it a D.
A D?
A D.
I'd give it a D.
Yeah.
And
D's get degrees.
D's get degrees. I should know.
The D I'm giving it is me being generous.
Oh.
So really, it's an F.
It's an F, but I'm conceding the fact that I might hate it more just because I don't like this kind of stuff.
Right.
I don't like their baskets.
Man.
I don't want your basket, so I don't want to be in your
That's crazy.
town.
Get your baskets out my face.
His whole view on the town is based on the wicker basket.
The whole town is based on the wicker basket.
Guess what you're getting for Christmas?
Oh my god.
Someone's getting a wicker basket.
You should get him a basket and then put baskets in it.
I know.
Okay.
It's just going to be a series of smaller baskets.
It's like those Russian China doll things.
I'm going to say, either of you or anyone listening, go to Cherokee and tell me you don't feel the same way when you come back.
I'm going to take you up on that offer.
Okay.
We're going to Cherokee. We're going to go get a basket.
Yeah.
I'm coming back with a wicker
I'm totally
basket.
going to go next week.
Yeah.
$80.
An $80 basket. There were some cool masks, some tribal masks. But
Okay.
but those were...
Did they have one made out of wicker? A wicker mask?
I don't think so.
Wicker basket.
Those were out of the question, though, because they were around $800 to $1,000.
Oh, my God.
I found one that was maybe like an inch
They'll
tall,
never sell
and it was
something.
$150.
They'll never sell something like that.
No, it was ridiculous.
Who buys that?
No one.
Who goes in there like, yeah, I want that. Well, it's $800. I don't care. It's just money. It's just money.
See, I'd walk in and I wouldn't say I don't care. I'd be like, yes, put it on my tab. Pull out a cigar and then go ride my yacht home.
Well, this
ridiculous.
The stuff was so expensive.
I piss into wicker baskets.
The stuff was so expensive, right? So they don't want it being stolen. So they put it all behind glass cases. Honestly,
no one's going to steal it anyway.
No, but here's the thing: if you didn't know that was a store, you'd have thought you were in a museum because nobody's touching this stuff. Nobody's buying.
No
this
wonder
stuff.
why no one's buying it. They probably don't know it's for sale.
There's price tags everywhere, though.
For sale.
For sale.
I'm gonna use that against you forever. Oh look, it's on for sale.
God.
So.
Oh my God.
So Cherokee gets a D.
Cherokee gets a D.
Gets a D, and it's lucky to get that.
Right.
Yeah, it
okay.
is.
So we're... God almighty. Listen to her. She's in rare form. So where else did you go, Ross?
The next day, I went hiking up a mountain.
Okay.
Not sure what mountain. I don't even know if they have names for the mountains.
Unknown. Well,
it was in the Smoky Mountains. Okay. I don't know if they name each.
So just a mountain in the Smoky Mountains. You weren't walking up it.
Yeah.
What were you doing up there?
Just walking.
Just walking.
There was a cave we were trying to get to.
You're trying to find a cave.
We were told by the internet, by the website, that
they believe everything on the internet.
Well, I mean, this is their specific website.
Oh, so
why would they be
website.
lying to us?
Right.
So they say 2 mile walk. That's nothing.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's
2 miles. I mean,
it's,
you can do 2 miles.
I can do 2 miles.
Even if you're not.
Even I can do 2 miles.
Even if you're not in great shape, you can walk 2 miles.
Yeah, anybody can do 2 miles. I would hope anyone can walk 2 miles.
Yeah. So we decided to do that. We're going, and it's nice. Everything is uphill. It's very steep.
Okay.
So you're getting a little tired.
All right.
After about 2 miles, you finally arrive at something that isn't really a cave. They said it was a cave. It's not really.
So the cave that they had in mind is not really a cave. Is it a tunnel?
No, it's like a giant rock that's got a hole going through it, and you basically walk through it. It's got.
How long is it?
You could go through the entire thing in like maybe 30 seconds.
Oh,
that's not a cave.
No, not at all.
That's a tunnel.
It's a tunnel.
I think you have to be. I think to qualify as a cave, you have to be in at least 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yeah. You can't see the exit as soon as you enter. You know.
Oh, could you see the exit?
You could just see right over there.
Yeah, it was like looking through a hallway.
Oh my gosh.
So we go through that, but the path keeps going.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop at this.
Okay.
So
maybe you're thinking that it's not the cave.
We're thinking it's not the cave.
All right.
We're thinking the cave. That
Clearly that wasn't the cave.
Right.
couldn't have been the cave.
rip
That
off.
wasn't a cave.
That was
Yeah.
And we see people going and walking, so we're thinking, okay, well they know
what they're
where the
doing.
cave
Yeah,
is.
they're going to the cave.
So we're walking.
Yeah.
And then we're walking.
Mm-hmm.
And we're walking. No cave.
Did you stop to ask anyone at any point, where's this cave?
We didn't stop to ask, but people were asking us. We heard people asking other
Now
people.
that would have been my
Everybody's
red flag.
wondering where's this cave?
So there's just people wandering around all looking for the cave.
Yeah, I mean it's a straight path, so they're not
You
roaming
should've-
aimlessly. But you see varying levels of fatigue. Some people
Yeah.
look exhausted looking
yeah.
for
Oh
the
my
cave,
God.
wondering where's this cave. Some people look hopeful
You should've
and
all-
energetic, like we're gonna go to the cave.
We're gonna find it.
It's gonna be a great
You
day.
should have all like huddled together and formed one big group looking for the cave.
No, I don't like that.
We're all sticking together.
I actually prefer. I would have liked there being no one on there. I kind of like isolation for some reason. So
Especially out in nature.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Who are the rest of these assholes ruining my nature?
exactly.
Rude.
Exactly.
Humans.
Yeah, exactly.
you know, one of the things that kept happening to us is you hear people are behind you walking, but they're walking at either a quicker pace than you, or the person in front of you is walking at a slower pace, and it's that awkward moment of like, do I get out of the way for this person?
Oh, yeah.
Do I go around this person? There was 2 kids who kept up with us as if we were a group.
A group. So
And
you
but
can't
we
really
weren't
talk now.
Well, we weren't talking. I didn't want to talk to them. I wanted them to go away. You don't go to the mountain to make friends.
I like that. That should be the slogan for the mountains. Mountains. You don't come here to make friends.
No.
All right?
No.
I feel like makes sense. Okay.
Makes sense? Okay.
So
I'll remember that next
Yeah,
time I
every
go to the
trip I've had to
mountains.
the mountains, I'm
Next
not a
time,
friend.
I'm going to the mountains and someone comes up to me, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't come to the mountains to make friends,
I
okay?
just grab their face and push them back.
I'm from the Piedmont where I have friends. I don't need friends in the mountains.
Yeah.
I don't need you.
So we're going and we just keep going. And we're going up and we're
How
getting
far did
tired.
you walk?
Well,
Did you reach the top of the mountain?
no. I'll just cut to the chase. We didn't see the cave.
You never got to the cave.
We never got to the cave.
Oh.
We were trying so hard, and we kept walking. We kept thinking we were at the cave. There's a part where all of a sudden we see rocks, and we're thinking, this has got to be the cave.
Right.
Yeah.
And we get to the rocks, and then we pass the rocks. No cave.
cave.
No cave. We're passing, still people thinking, hey, did you see the cave? No. We see people coming down looking defeated. Maybe they saw the cave, don't care. Maybe they didn't want to do. Maybe So, but it's that thing where you keep thinking like, we've got to be getting close.
Yeah.
There's no way. We've been walking all day.
Yeah.
We can't turn back now. What if we turn back now and all we needed was another 5 minutes?
Another 5 minutes.
Oh,
or it's like
man.
just right around the bend.
Yeah,
You would have been at
exactly.
the cave.
Exactly.
Right.
So that was sort of the goal. Whenever we saw a bend, it was like, let's go. Let's make it to that bend.
To that bend.
But then you get around that bend, you look, and it's just straight. Just
Oh my
there's nothing.
gosh.
No.
You see the next bend far away,
Yeah.
and you're thinking, well,
Is there actually a cave?
yeah. We're thinking, is there a cave? Maybe it's around that bend. Should we go to that bend?
So
you don't want to go one bend shy of the cave.
Right.
Is it possible,
Bend
Ross,
shy.
that you were getting trolled
We could
by
have been.
this website?
We certainly were, because the website promised a 2-mile walk. It wasn't the walk to the.
Do you think it could have been a dyslexic moment and maybe it would have been 20 miles?
It could have been, but I think what was going on was the hallway, like cave that we came to. The
That
rock.
can't be the cave.
Well, no, but for the sake of the story, the cave.
The cave.
The only thing we saw even remotely close to a cave.
All right.
It didn't even look like a cave.
So I'm
but
imagining this place is not getting a good grade.
well, I'll give it a B.
Okay.
A B.
I'll give it a B because it was still a nice mountain and it was still a nice walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, if there was no cave point at the end, it would have just been like an A.
Yeah,
walk.
it would have been fine. But the fact that I was promised a cave and didn't get my cave. But so here's the thing though. When we finally made the decision, we can't do this anymore. We got to what we thought was the top of the mountain. There were no trees above us because the whole way up you're just surrounded by trees.
Okay.
So we get to a place where we don't see any trees. So we think we've got to get to this is the top. There's got to be
We've
the
reached
cave.
the top.
We get there and no, the path goes down a little bit and then goes back up into another peak of the mountain.
Oh my god.
So we didn't. continue.
I'd have been
It was
like,
too much. We were
can
too
someone
tired.
helicopter up here and get my ass?
It was pretty bad. But so
I want to come off the mountain now.
we're walking down the mountain, and this family is sort of resting where we were resting earlier. And he goes, "Hey guys, is the cave up there?" And we're like, "We don't know. It might be. We didn't get to it." I looked at him and I said, I think we're not really that close. I think we've got a ways to go. I think you've got a ways to go.
Right.
I'm not continuing." He looked disappointed.
I bet. He was probably thinking like, oh, this will be a fun family outing.
Yeah.
His wife's probably looking at him like, you ass drugged me up here to find some cake.
He had a little kid. Oh, you know what else we saw? We saw a couple people with like backpacks with infants on them. I could barely get up there. Yeah, like they had like a little like
baby,
not even a year old
baby.
They were just strapped in,
and they were carrying him up a mountain.
Yeah,
that's hardcore.
I mean,
that's not being a parent.
The only way that would make sense is if you're bringing it up there to leave it there.
Sacrifice.
Yeah,
this is what the cave is used for.
Yeah,
it's to toss the babies in.
Yeah,
you gotta have a good harvest.
Exactly.
So we're coming down, and
you gotta make those wicker baskets people happy. That's what we do. It's the wicker man. Toss the baby in the wicker man basket.
You satisfy the wicker man.
Yeah, you satisfy the wicker man.
And then you bees have a good harvest.
Hell yeah.
That's
right. But so whenever you go to one of these places, there's always the group of people who are cool, who know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
There's the guy who's just like, this is his mountain.
I've
he
done
does
it
it all
several
the time.
times, and
So we passed one of those, and the guy was basically, we heard him talking to these two girls he was with, and he basically said, "Yeah, we're about a third of the way to the cave."
A third.
So after all that,
11 miles.
we were
a third.
It was around 11 miles. We were.
I would have
only
asked
there.
him, could I please ride on your back? Just carry me up there.
I was a little annoyed at how, because he said it like it was nothing. Like, yeah, we're a third of the way.
And you've been working hard.
Yeah. So we didn't come close.
I'd have pushed him off the mountain.
I was grateful to him though, because when I found out we weren't even a third, it made me so much more okay with quitting.
Right, because you weren't like right there and then turned around.
Yeah, so it was like, okay,
so
we
what
didn't
is
even
this
come close.
2 mile bullshit?
I gotta say it's probably the
tunnel.
The tunnel, because apparently most people get to that tunnel, take some pictures, and then turn around there. Not a whole lot of people go
Quitters.
forward. Yeah, exactly. Because when we were coming back down, there was a whole crowd of people there, and they were acting like, "Oh, well, we made it."
Well, shoot, at least you actually
we
persevered.
Tried. Oh yeah. We definitely gave it our all.
So
Kicked our
B.
ass. A B, because it was still really, really nice. I mean, I don't regret it. I regret Cherokee.
The wicker baskets.
I don't regret this mountain. So that was that was the second day, and then the third full day was the last full day.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Tennessee.
Went to Tennessee.
Gatlinburg.
I hate Gatlinburg.
I kind of agree with you on that.
I would give that an F minus.
Oh my god, I would give it a Q.
Here's the thing. I didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
Neither did I going into it. I actually remember the drive up there being like really nice, and you're driving through the mountains.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you turn the corner, and then you're like, "The hell is this?"
It's just a
like
town. It's like a tourist town.
It's a tourist town. It's like I don't know. It's like a fair carnival
It's
and
like Myrtle Beach on
corporate
steroids.
Like it just threw up and shit all over the mountain, and
yeah,
that's what it looked like.
I get where
it's
you're
such an
coming from.
eyesore sitting there.
It was, but after so much
Doesn't
nothing,
it smell awful?
It does. It really does.
It smells awful.
I forgot about that until you just told me that.
Cannot smell, even with that nose. She can't.
Get out of here.
She can't smell.
It's a blessing.
It is.
I can promise
I
you.
could taste it.
I told her.
Oh God.
I could taste the town.
I told her while we were walking around. I said, "Ari, I know you hate this place, but I swear to you, you cannot smell it, and that is a good thing."
Yeah.
It smells terrible.
It smelled weird. I don't know if it's the town or if it's all the sweaty people.
There's a lot of sweaty people around.
There's a lot of
That's
sweaty
a good
people.
question.
Yeah.
It's a lot
You
of
got
creepy
that
people too.
much gross, sweaty people.
So
It's got to create some kind of funk cloud.
funk cloud.
Yeah.
It's like whenever you go to like a perfume department, instead it's just body odor.
Yeah,
One of my favorite things to do ever is people watch.
Mhm.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
And we set out and watched people actually for a while, and I had never seen such.
I know.
I didn't know people.
There were so
existed
many
like that.
straight white people in that town.
Yeah.
It was very eerie.
So
weird. So
what did you do in Gatlinburg?
the first thing we did was we went to Ripley's Aquarium.
Oh! You know what? I didn't go in there. Bless you. I didn't go in there, but I wanted a chocolate covered frozen banana that was out front in that little thing. Did they still have that thing?
I don't know.
I really wanted. I told Ari.
That was after we had like a really disappointing day, and then he goes up to this ice cream thing. He's like, "Can I have 2 chocolate covered bananas?" I'm sorry, we only have 1.
Oh, really?
Ari,
You tried?
I said, Ari, just take it.
Oh, that's very
So we
chivalrous
split
of
it.
you.
We split it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But still, we'd had like a really disappointing day, and I was like, all I want is a chocolate covered banana.
And like the young teenager was just like, "I'm sorry, sir, we only have 1."
And I was like,
I watched his heart just break.
and I was like, and I literally looked and I said, Ari, just take it.
And you're like, "I just want a Pepsi."
I know, I was like, just give me a Pepsi.
Oh, you said Coke Zero.
Coke.
You got Coke Zero? They're
Coke
like,
Zero.
"No, we have Pepsi." You got Diet Pepsi? No.
That
Just the fucking
Just the
Pepsi.
fucking Pepsi.
when you ask for a Coke and they only have Pepsi, it's almost equivalent to the cold monkey not getting in the
I know,
the hot
and
spring.
why?
It's the
And
worst
why
thing
do
ever.
they do that?
Well,
why
Pepsi
do they
okay?
do that? No!
No.
If Pepsi was okay, I would have fucking told
Yeah.
you first that I wanted Pepsi.
Exactly.
No, but I didn't say that.
No.
I said I wanted Coca-Cola.
Specifically,
Is
yeah.
Pepsi okay? No, it's not.
No.
It's not okay. My response to that is water.
Yeah. I usually take like a breath. I'm kind of like and then
Just to
I
let them
think
know
about
that
it.
they've disappointed you.
Yeah, I usually end up going with like Sierra Mist.
Yeah.
Something like that. You do something like a Sprite, or I just get water. I'm just
Yeah.
like, hey, can I try to get lucky, and I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, you got Coke Zero? No, because I like Coke Zero. In fact, I've been drinking Coke Zero so long that the last time I actually had a Coca-Cola, I didn't like it. It tasted
Yeah.
like cough syrup because it's
Yeah.
too sugary.
Too much
I
sugar.
couldn't handle it. So like to me, Coke Zero is what a Coke tastes like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've been drinking it so long.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where my cancer's coming from. The
Coke
aspartame
Zero.
and all the Coke Zero I drink.
Yeah, it's apparently not that great of an alternative.
No, it's not.
I mean, basically, you're better off drinking just water or anything.
Oh well, yeah, definitely.
So the Ripley's Aquarium, was it cool? I've been to the one in Myrtle Beach, and I'm assuming it has fish too.
Yeah. This
Aquarium did not.
This one was it was pretty good. I've been to the one in Boston, and that one.
I have too. Now that one is really cool.
That one's great.
They have a sea turtle that's as big as me. I could have
Dang.
ridden it. Yeah, I know, right? It's a big ass turtle, right? I know. This thing actually said, she was like, "Damn,
Because he was a tall dude.
this turtle was as long as me."
Yeah. Well, and the one in Boston is bigger.
Yeah.
So you can kind of just have a little bit more fun.
They
This
actually
one's a little
have
more
like a big giant tank with like sharks in it, and then you kind of walk through the middle of it.
Oh, like the water tunnel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
In where?
the Boston one.
Oh, do they?
Well, the one I did when I went there, and the Myrtle Beach one has one too.
Well, I didn't know that, but
Did this one have one?
Yeah, it did.
It
And
did.
this is the first time I've ever been through one of those. So that was cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids running around.
I bet you Audra loved that.
She didn't. Here's the thing about it's I almost don't care about the kids. I almost hate the parents more.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, you know, if I see something that I want to look at, I'll look at it.
Story about that too. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll look at it, and then I'll if I want to look at it some more, I'll get out of the way and then wait.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just stand there for 20 minutes while there's a line of people wanting to see
Yeah.
it. And
I
kids
really want to see this fish.
Kids do that, and the parents just don't care.
Yeah.
So
like,
that was
Johnny,
fun.
get out of the way.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's a fish.
So that's really that's that's gonna suck no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was cool. There was there was a lot of young annoying kids and a lot of equally annoying old people complaining
Complaining
about.
What were they complaining about?
Well, we got into that shark tunnel, and I guess they think the sharks are going to be the stars pretty much anywhere. People want to see the sharks. They want to see the dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
So if they just let people in these tunnels, again, the kids, people, they would just sit there forever.
Yeah.
So instead of doing that, they've got this little like conveyor belt thing you stand on, and you have to go at a certain speed.
Oh, right.
It
keeps things moving.
It keeps things moving. It's kind of slow. It's a little too slow for me.
Right.
You can only stare at
You're
something for so long.
you're probably the only person in the tunnel who actually wanted to be out of the tunnel.
Well, here's the thing. the tunnel is completely around, and there's water completely around and sharks completely around. But at the top of the ceiling, they painted a sky. So you see like clouds, but you look up and you see clouds, but you see the water sort of like rippling, and you see sharks going over it. So it's kind of like sharks. It's almost like the ocean is in the sky, and I thought that was so cool. I like the paint job on the ceiling more than the sharks. Everyone was taking pictures of the sharks.
You're just talking about the ceiling.
I was staring up, just filming the ceiling because it looked so cool to me.
That's awesome.
But so there's an old lady behind me, and she's just going.
Was she dying?
It's so hot in here.
It's so hot.
There's too many people. It's too crowded.
She's having a panic attack.
She kind of, and she's just kind of. She's making it more unenjoyable.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting here listening to this old lady huff constantly. It was. I mean, she wasn't wrong. It was a little hot. Yeah. It was a little slow. It was a little cramped.
Yeah.
But deal with it.
Those are just some things you deal with whenever you go out in public.
Yeah.
Especially a place like Gatlinburg.
Well, but here's
everywhere you go in Gatlinburg is going to be that way.
Yeah, and that was bad enough. But now I had an old lady huffing behind me. So it was worse. The default of it being unpleasant was bad enough, but now I had to deal with her complaining about it. She didn't. I guess it doesn't matter to her because she's the one complaining. Right. So that doesn't annoy her. Her complaining doesn't annoy her, but it annoys me. I want to turn around and say, you know how bad this is? It's worse for all of us because you're here.
Your existence makes this suck more.
Yeah.
You should have started complaining about her complaining.
I can't. I just can't. I have all these thoughts. I can't talk this way to people. I'm too polite. I'd love to talk this way to people.
I know. I wish.
I just not that kind of person.
Several times that I wish that I could have said half the stuff I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah. You can't. Society has to work off of us not doing that.
Do you know what gets me in trouble? Actually, it's not the things that I say half the time. It's I have no filter for the expression of face.
Right. Yeah. People can't control their facial muscles.
Yeah, I can't control it. Like people will talk to me. My boss actually. My eyebrow will always tend to go up like that. Like he'll start talking to my eyebrow will jump up there, and I'm always having to push it down.
Oh my gosh!
Like try to not get the eyebrow there, because when I hear something, I'm like, what? I'm like, well, my eyebrow pops up. I'm like, what is that? What is that? You're getting the look.
You get the eyebrow. You get the.
You see the eyebrow? Do you see the eyebrow?
Yeah. Oh, I remember one time you and I both went to go see your mother and sister perform for the church.
Yes.
And a guy walked by who you knew, and you said hi. And he stared at you.
Yes.
And then just walked away. And you turned to me. You turned to me and you said, I probably deserved that.
And I still feel like I do.
What did you do?
Well, it just my behavior on... my mom has a lot of church friends on Facebook, and they kind of friended me.
Oh,
and
I didn't know that.
My behavior on Facebook, a lot of the times I imagine they probably think that I am like Marilyn Manson.
Oh my god!
On the outside, I mean, I just have this idea. They probably think that I
right. They probably think that you're just like Satan.
And so whenever I see one of them in public and they kind of give me the cold shoulder, I always go, "All right, I probably deserve that."
I mean, maybe you did, but I'm polite.
Oh, and there was one time we had the Christmas tree up there, and I went to the service right when he was like, and he comes to me, he goes. Hey, I want you to be one of the ones that goes up there and hangs the ornament on the tree. And I said, no, thank you. And he goes...
It's your right to say that,
And he was like, no. And he kind of looked at me for a second like, what do you mean you don't want to hang the ornament on the tree?
Most of the time you don't ever get denied whenever you're doing church obligations. Like, people are always like, well, I'm in the church. This is a place of love and tranquility. And then as soon as someone says no, it's like this halt eruption, and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah, you've broken the mood.
Just like I went into my old dad's church and I had dyed my hair, and they were like, and I was like, whoa, guess what? Other hair colors exist.
I know. Yeah. What happened to your hair?
Yeah.
No, so I told him, I was like, no, I'm good. And he was like, no, really, we need someone to go up there and hang the ornament. And I finally was like, okay, I'll do it. And then he handed me the ornament. So I took the ornament. Well, this couple sits down next to me, and I'm holding the ornament, and they're like, what's that? And I'm like, this is an ornament that has to be put on the tree. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. And I said, do you guys want to do it?
Oh my god!
I said, do you guys want to do it? And they were like, yeah. What do we have to do? And I was like, just go up there and hang it on the thing when he says go and do it.
Look at you, still directing the church.
And she was like, oh yeah. So I hand him the ornament. All right, so get this. So it happens, right? And they go up there to do the ornament, and I see him looking at me like,
why did
you do that? Why aren't you going up to the tree? And he's just like looking at it, and I was just kind of sitting there like... But the first time we ever met, I was up in the sound room because I used to run the sound for the church. And the first time we met, he comes up there and he's like, hello. And he introduces himself. And I'm like, hey, man, how's it going? And he's like, oh, I'm good. I'm new here. And I was wondering if you have some free time, I would like to, give my testimony. And I was like, I'm good. I'm really good. I'm finishing up here with sound. I was like, do you want to give your testimony like in a service? He goes, no, I want to give it to you. And I was like, to me? And I've never been like a religious, like hardcore religious type person and things like that. I don't do things like that. I don't want to hear your testimony. No, I'm not interested in hearing your testimony. But it actually wound up being like the most interesting thing ever because he started talking to me about he was like, well, I started out in a cult. And I was like, excuse me. I was like, excuse me. And now I'm all of a sudden interested. I'm like, what kind of
stuff did you guys do?
What kind of cult are we talking about?
Cult stories are always really interesting. How did you get up in that situation?
I know.
How did you get out of that situation?
Exactly.
So he was telling me about the cult and how pissed off he was at his son because he was disappointed in his son, but his son had like a near-death experience. Now he loves Jesus.
Wait, he was disappointed in his son for not being in the cult?
No, he was just disappointed in his son because his son was like really rebellious and whatnot. But they got out of the cult and everything. But so I've always had kind of a weird history with this guy.
Yeah.
That's why
that's my problem with major groups of religions anyway. Just like you were talking about how they see your films and they're just disappointed and they're just like they don't know how to talk to you and they ignore you and stuff.
At the film festival,
with religious obligations, you should follow the teachings where you should accept everyone as they are. And making the scary films, making anything that has a lot of swearing in it, that's just part of who you are. So they should learn to love and accept that.
And you don't have to watch it.
You don't. And I don't see
that's always my argument when people are like, oh, I don't like that movie. There's too much cussing. I'm like, don't watch it.
Yeah, but it's not really. I don't see it as being a reflection on a person.
Right.
I mean,
it's
just
like your creative.
If that was who you were, you'd just be doing that.
Yeah, you'd be swearing all the time.
Well, I kind of do, but half the time when I'm writing these characters anyway, so I've written some pretty crazy stuff with people killing people and doing other. I don't do any of that stuff.
Oh no.
Okay, so
clearly you're still here, not in prison,
right? Yeah. So when I'm writing these things, half the time it is just whatever pops in there.
But why is swearing even a bad? I get slurs because those are specifically made to hurt people,
right.
But other just swear words, I don't get why that's so
offensive. That don't like swearing, it's because either it was ingrained into them whenever they're really young that that's a bad thing to do,
right? Or
they just want to live in this peaceful utopia of just innocence and bliss, and then as soon as anything is just angry or raw, they're like, oh, that's just too much.
Words anyway are empty unless you give them meaning.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. But how many times do people just swear as a throwaway word? I do it all the time. It's not meant to. It's not meant to be angry.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, it's like they're interpreting it as something it's not being put out.
Exactly. Just like whenever you're like, oh man, this fucking dinner is amazing. And you're not talking about fucking your dinner.
No.
I would hope not.
No.
Some people might be into that. And that's okay if you are. We accept you as you are.
Yeah. Maybe she does.
I mean, there's limits.
Dinner was really good tonight.
I mean, I'm just so excited about this risotto.
There's all kinds. There's people who have fallen in love with trees. Buildings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There was someone who married the Eiffel Tower, I think.
Dang.
They actually lay claim to that?
I guess so.
Props to the artist. That's the biggest ego boost for that person.
Yeah.
They married my sculpture.
Yeah.
That's neat.
So you were at Gatlinburg.
I was. I didn't like it. Ari and I both were there. We actually had a very terrible experience.
I got sick the first night. You got sick the first night.
I got
altitude sickness, and you got food sickness.
Yes. I think it was from that Italian restaurant. We had an Italian joint.
We went to Pizza Hut.
See, we went to Subway.
So we started out
after we went to that one weird place.
We started out that we went to a candy shop. We loaded up on some fudge. I went into a beef jerky place, right?
I saw that.
And
I didn't
saw
go in, but
it was the best darn jerky.
Yeah. I saw that.
We went. It was very good. I mean, but the thing is, I got 2 pieces of beef jerky for $11.
Oh, really?
It was expensive.
Yeah.
$11 for 2 pieces of beef jerky.
It was still good.
I mean, it's like
it was the best darn jerky.
I was gonna say this is like, you know, a special kind.
Everything to me, Gatlinburg is just too gimmicky, and everything there starts at $10. I didn't care what Ari and I were doing. I was paying at least $10 for the both of us, or per person.
Yeah,
I didn't care what it was. It was.
It's also really hick, and there's no police officers. I don't know if you noticed that there were no cops.
No, I didn't see any.
There were no cops,
but
every single store, every single one sells moonshine. What the fuck is up with that? Because you could go into a gun shop, buy moonshine, walk across the street, get ice cream, buy moonshine.
Yeah.
Like,
ice
what?
cream.
Yeah,
everyone sells ice cream there, too.
There was a lot of ice cream there. You're right about it being pricey. We went into just a little shop that sold just little trinkets or whatever, just to look. Weren't going to buy anything.
Right.
And of course, it's one of those places where as soon as the guy sees you look at something, he's like, what are you thinking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
And you're like,
so it was a tiny little globe. Yeah. And it was like $80.
oh my god.
And he was like, well, I can do 30. Ugh. And it's like, that's still not good enough.
Did you
start at 30 and do 10?
And drop down to,
Yeah.
This is how we negotiate, brother.
Yeah. So we didn't get anything there.
Speaking of that, did you happen to notice people trying to sell you vacations?
Yeah, they not to me because I saw them doing it to someone else, and
they hit us.
They tried to hit us really hard.
I saw somebody who they're not very good at it from what I saw. He waved someone in. Someone just caught his eye. And he waved.
That's what they're waiting for you to make eye contact.
Yeah, and
they're like, "You sir."
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, do you guys come here often?" And she was like, "No, this is our last day." And he said, "Well, come here anyway."
Yeah,
as if
that's what they did to us too.
I'm not
we were literally on our last day, and I was like improvising with Justin. I was like, "Oh man, we gotta leave in like an hour."
Yeah, and we even told him. Well, we even told him we were there for the film festival.
Yeah,
like we said, "Oh, we're just here for the film festival."
Yeah.
And we were like, we gotta get going, and she was like, yeah, we gotta get doing this, and they're like, oh, well, you can come back, and so, and I think I even said something like, oh, I don't think I'll be coming back.
Right. Well, it's kind of like the cell phone kiosks.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, what phone do you have? What's your plan?
You're literally talking on the phone, and you're just like, stop! I don't need a phone.
Well, and I think that's the thing that was annoying me is it's like, if I need a phone, well, I'm not coming to a kiosk, but even if I was going to buy my phone at a kiosk, you would see me walking towards your kiosk.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see me
you don't need
shying
to sell
away.
It to me. Yeah, it's not like I don't know about it and I need you to tell me.
Yeah.
Like, if I want your services, I will seek you out, brother.
But it's the phone kiosk more because you can pass by, like, Dippin' Dots, and they're not pulling that shit.
Oh, it's because Dippin' Dots is amazing.
they actually get
ice cream.
But yeah, it's really just it's not. I don't know how often that can work because it's such an off-putting tactic.
Yeah.
To just like approach people, and it's very intimidating.
And it's because they always do it aggressively.
Mm-hmm. Like people, I went to this one cream place. Like they were just doing hand cream. I was walking in a mall, and the woman was like, "This is for you for sample," and I was like, "Okay, like I'll take your free sample." And then she started talking to me, and she started like signing me up for a plan to get like $40 jars a month. I was like, "You can suck my whole dick." No.
Something similar happened to me in Triangle Town.
Yeah,
there was
Triangle Town Center.
There was a balloon kiosk.
Yeah,
and someone I was with was buying something or they were doing something I wasn't interested in. Right. And I saw these balloons and I was like, I'll go look at the balloons. And I got there and the guy was like, what balloon do you want? And I was like, oh, I'm just looking. And he gave me the dirtiest look. Like he wanted to say, then get the fuck away from my kiosk. I just wanted to look at the balloon.
I don't want you looking at my fucking balloon.
Oh my gosh. No.
So it happens.
Oh man.
So what would you grade Gatlinburg there?
I'd give Gatlinburg a C because it needs to be above Cherokee.
You like Gatlinburg more than Cherokee.
Yeah, it's got to be above Cherokee.
A place that only has wicker baskets for $80 versus getting something for $10, $20.
Yeah. Well, and like, I
mean, Gatlinburg, even though the town collectively has like 12 teeth. Like it's still the women there are so nice to other women.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about, but I loved it. I was like, this is so cool. Some of the men there were kind of sketchy. Some of the men were kind of nice. Like it's just
And
but what's those things called? The trolleys? The trolley drivers are on like a suicide pact.
Really?
Like they don't care if they live or die.
God, we got on one of those.
We went on one of
trolleys.
those, and like there's trees right in front of us, and this woman floors it up the mountain and waits very last second. I swear to God, the back tire skid as she turned to avoid those. I was like, we are gonna die.
Yeah,
I was already feeling nauseous. We're about to go to dinner because I had a migraine, and I was holding on to this railing for dear life. There was this larger person next to me, a mountain person, of course.
A larger person, yes, of course.
There's a lot of them.
Gatlinburg.
And like their child was right in front of them, and they were turned around staring at me the whole time. And that's my pet peeve. I hate being stared at.
Oh yeah,
I hate it so much. Like
says an actress.
It's
No, I mean,
it's
like-
different from being watched to being stared
right,
at.
being on stage, you have paid $30+ to watch me get in a costume, say some lines, and then afterwards you can do whatever you want. You can take photos. I don't give a crap. But like if we're out in public and I'm walking somewhere, it makes me think like, is there something on my face? Is there something wrong with me? What about me is so freaking interesting to the eyeball?
There's a lot. I mean, I don't think we have the time.
Oh my gosh.
You know, we have to keep this show to a minimum.
Yeah.
But I was just holding on for dear life, and like, this is where I die.
Yeah.
This is
crazy.
it. This is the end of the world.
Yeah. I'd give it a C. There was one good moment where they have like a really gross looking sort of reservoir, I guess.
Yeah.
What you would call it.
Mm-hmm.
We know that.
And I was walking by, disappointed of all the horrible shots.
Yeah.
And I looked down, and there's two little baby ducks in the water.
Oh yeah.
And there was like a mom duck, but there was two little ducks like under her, trying to get into her shade, and she sat on them, and then sat back up and like turned around, and I was like, oh, well, that's
funny.
That's good.
That's funny.
That's good.
Okay. I
Yeah.
Go to Gatlinburg to watch the ducks.
So see, and also it was like I want to say maybe an hour and a half, 2 hour drive.
Yeah.
So when you drive that far to
get
go
there.
to a place thinking it's going to be maybe cool, I mean, because I thought this isn't like Cherokee.
We drove 6.5.
We drove a long way.
Oh yeah, and that must have even been more of a disappointment. But like I'm thinking, this isn't like Cherokee. It's not, they don't have like one thing going for them.
Right.
They've got this is a modern place. Like there's got to be something here for me.
Right.
And there really wasn't.
I felt the same way. I felt like this town is not for me. This place is not for me. These people are not for me.
I felt like if I needed to go into hiding, I would choose Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
Because that one guy has that house on the side of the mountain.
Oh,
that
yes.
has like 3-bedroom, no, it's 4-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, and he pays less than what I pay for rent.
Oh wow!
Where I live.
I heard that it was that it's like you can find a job there in no time, and the housing market's actually pretty cheap.
Everything always has hiring signs.
Yeah, same in Maggie Valley. Yeah. Every place I passed, it was like we're accepting applications.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But that's the thing. Like, who wants to live there? I would never want to live there.
Not I.
So it's funny because I said earlier that I like isolation.
Yeah,
but I do in certain ways. But that is not I want to live in a place where I can get stuff I need.
Right.
There was no grocery store in Maggie Valley.
We were talking about it. The closest grocery store was a Dollar General that was like 5 miles away.
Yeah, same
and
here.
Dollar General is not a grocery store.
No.
To help her with her migraine, we wound up walking around forever looking for a CVS or something in Gatlinburg. That was hard to find.
Yeah, I didn't see anything like that.
It was like 2 miles away from the hotel.
But it sounds like you had a good vacation.
Yeah. And then today was the last day, and we went to a cave.
Oh, you actually went to a cave? Did you have to walk far to get to the cave?
No. This was a tour. We got to go on a tour of this cave. And that was cool. That I guess I wasn't expecting this, but it was like around 80 degrees or so, and as soon as we went into the cave, it dropped to like 50.
Yep.
And I thought,
that's
really
awesome.
Cool. It was great. And but there was it was only like a half-hour tour.
I want a cave.
It was with a bunch of other people.
You do not want to go caving.
You wouldn't. You know why? Because I'm usually fine with like claustrophobic type stuff.
I'm not.
Even this place, I was a little like, okay, this. When we got there, he was showing us all these different aspects of the cave, and he pointed his flashlight up, and there was like some stalactite that was broken a little bit. And he was like, "You see how that's broken? It's because of back in like the 1940s, this like caved in a bit and broke some of the stuff off." I'm thinking, well, now all I'm thinking about is this thing caving in while I'm in here.
Right.
So
Hasn't happened since the 40s, but knowing my luck, it will
But
today.
still,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Because my sister went caving. She was part of the Boy Scouts of America. Go figure.
Your
my sister
was?
Mhm.
How does that work?
And they would go on venture crew. She would only go for the venture crew. She wasn't an actual Boy Scout. She didn't have to do the Scouts on or anything. anything.
I was a Boy Scout.
But
I wasn't.
Like 4 months.
like they would do like the outdoorsy stuff, like they go ski trips and whatnot, and they went also white water rafting, but then they went caving one time, and she got stuck for I think 2 hours.
Oh my
God.
In this one place, and she was, or I think it was 5 hours. I don't remember. It was a long ass time, and she was explaining it to me. And they have only one photo of her stuck in there. She's still smiling. You can see like she was freshly crying. I was like, oh no.
So I'm like around 6'2", and I was having to hunch over because it was so small. But there were spiders all up in it, apparently. I didn't see any, but everyone was talking about spiders. My God. And I hate spiders.
I know Audra doesn't either.
Yeah. And I just kept thinking of like a spider coming down.
Oh, God.
And it got me thinking, actually. It got me thinking about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And here's
You're in a cave thinking about Spider-Man.
I am, and this is where my mind went. And I've never thought this before, and I don't know why I thought it now. But, so, Peter Parker... Mm-hmm. He's a pretty smart kid.
Right.
That's his thing. He's like the smart, nerdy kid. Right?
Right.
I'm going based on the movies. I don't read the comics.
Yeah, he is.
So he's like a smart kid.
He invents all the spider gun thing.
Yeah, he's got like a good mind. Yeah. You know, I think one movie he's like talking to a scientist and they're all impressed with his papers.
His dad was a scientist.
A spider falls on him at a lab and it bites him. Why didn't he go get help? He never even thought of going and getting help.
That is true.
A radioactive spider bit him, and he's smart. But he never thought, hey guys, your spider that you've been like genetically enhancing bit me.
I can explain this. There are some people that are book smart, and there are some people that are street smart, and you can always tell usually by the grades. There are very rare few that are either book and street smart or don't have either.
But if you're gonna be a superhero fighting on the streets, you'd think you'd want to be a little street smart.
Well, that's whenever he gets his street smarts, because at first he doesn't know. Is
that part of the mutation?
I think that's just part of like becoming a superhero. You have to learn how to deal with the people.
I just was thinking, because there's that scene where he's in his bed and his hands all like swollen, he's like shaking, he's like losing all his... I'm thinking, go to a hospital.
Right?
What is wrong with you?
Well, if he did that, they would know he was Spider-Man.
Right, you got to keep the mystery. But still, like, I understand where you're coming from.
That's what I'm thinking when I'm in this cave.
Well, it's just the same thing as like... Ari and I are best friends, right? I feel confident that she'd be able to point me out anywhere we were at.
Right, like even if you were wearing a mask and a bodysuit, it'd be like, Justin, what are you doing?
However, if I just simply remove my glasses,
who are you?
Where did Justin? Did Justin just leave?
Is this our new host?
I know.
Hi, I'm Ariana.
Hi, Clark Kent. So
Clark Kent, I've heard that name before.
So like, the superhero thing doesn't make sense because I feel like she'd be able to point me out anywhere. But if I take off my glasses and put on like a skin tight suit, as funny as that would be, I feel like she would definitely know, like, why are you wearing that blue spandex?
Okay, but like the people that wear the full body suits anyway that zip up over the face, sometimes you can't recognize who they are. And also people that do cosplay and stuff like that. And I've seen people that I knew that were at cosplay conventions. I had no idea it was them because they were wearing a full body suit.
At least Spider-Man's got that going for him. But next week we'll be playing a game and we'll be talking about Kanye West's Famous, and I'm sure we'll be doing some other stuff then. So until then, stay cool. I am Justin Bullock.
I'm Ariana Tysinger.
I'm Ross.
And this has been Shooting the Bull. We'll see you next week.
It's all over.
Nothing's over while I'm breathing.
Jesus Christ, I met some dumb bastards in my time, but you outdo them all.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
God help us in the future.